JB here, September 19th, 2024, 3:22 on this Thursday afternoon. Talk really quick about the market, some of the names I'm in, a name I added this morning, and go from there. But take a look at the SPY. The S&P's up 1.75%. The Nasdaq was up over 3% at times, up 2.68%. And I forget who posted the stat, but the largest gap up on all-time highs. I guess as far back as you can go. Which, I mean, the market's not always at all-time highs, so you take some of that out of the factor of that being a valuable statistic. But either way, pretty remarkable stuff. Uh, it was I put in a watch in the chat room before. It's like today is a frustrating day because the names I'm in are not moving with the market where you would think they would, right? But it is what it is. Dust it off. The worst thing you can do is go and try and chase trades. I stick to my plan or what have you, and we've seen time and time again that you're in some positions and they go the next day that there's a catalyst or an upgrade or what have you, um, and things get going. Anyway, talk put on the watch list. I mean, 569 actually 571.46 now is the upper Bollinger Band, and we're right there right now. 571.32 on the SPY. So kind of watching that. I almost prefer when the market's under the upper Bollinger Band, especially after that huge move from the Japan fiasco. So, well, I shouldn't say Japan, but the jobs report from July, and then that weekend, and then that Monday was the big reversal. But oh no, the big sell off the week after. Anyway, getting them all confused. But maybe some chop here into the close would be nice and set up for a decent day tomorrow and some follow through. And then over the weekend, it's all going to be about the chatter. And I said it on this morning's rant. It's everybody's local newspaper is going to say the Fed just cut rates by 0.5%. What does this mean for you? What does this do for you? And things like that. And that's what it's all going to be about. And that's why I like some of the housing names, but I'll talk about Redfin in a second. So 516, 571 or so will be decent for close. Maybe underneath that, I prefer that. And then maybe some chop tomorrow. I always get a little concerned once we hit these areas that one day we're going to wake up and futures going to be down like 1% or something to that effect. Just because no catalyst, no just because we've bounced so quickly from that I think it was 539 handle. So anyway, time will tell. And then at the end of August, we got down to 509 at the start of August. Anyway, so just always keep that in the back of my head. And then second, small caps up 1.8%. 225 is that big breakout point. It couldn't break and hold that. Got down to 224.58 on the IWM. Want to see that break and go at some point would be nice. All right, so individual names. So first, I did make a trade today, and that's getting the Visa spec puts. I was actually looking for next week's, and then it was moving, and I looked at the risk reward on some of the strikes. I was going to get the 270s for next week. Said I got the weekly strikes. There news out that Amazon is going to allow, not Amazon, excuse me, Walmart's going to allow you to pay direct from your checking account or whatever, which I don't know what the difference is between that and using your debit card, because I don't think Visa gets the transactional fee if you click debit instead of credit, if you're using your debit card, right? Because if you use your debit card that has the Visa logo, if you use it as a credit card, Visa gets the swipe transaction fee, and uh, you know, Walmart gets hit for that, right? So I don't know what the difference is. Maybe it's allowing people to use. Anyway, so interesting stuff. There's been issues like this in the past. I remember Amazon was removing Visa, or yeah, I think it was Visa, from some of their portals on. I don't know if it was in the entire country of the entire EU, but that was last year. The year before, there was issues with Australia, and I think Amazon took the Visa as an option off the entire platform if you did transactions, if you bought something on Amazon or in Australia. Anyway, I can go on a rant for a while on it, but just so you understand my rationale, I understand that Visa and MasterCard continue to grow. They're cash cows. They have, there's monster revenue, all that stuff, and they're entrenched, right? So that's some of the reason the moat for Visa and MasterCard, and American Express for that matter, and I guess Discover is well, more so for Visa and MasterCard, is that it's like if you are a restaurant or you're online retailer or whatever, you cannot say I'm not going to take Visa and MasterCard, right? You're probably going to lose business because it's just how it works. So until it gets to the point where, and I always call it like the tipping point, the point where you can say, hey, I don't want to have Visa on my site anymore because they take 3% of my transaction or what have you, or MasterCard. Once it gets to that point, then I think that's like the tipping point. But to me, the market should start pricing that in at some point. And the fact that it doesn't, I just, it boggles my mind. And I've had this ever since Bitcoin. I was big in Bitcoin starting in 2013. Ever since that came out, and then all these other third-party transaction applications, a lot of them don't even charge fees anymore. You got the Venmos, the PayPal's, uh, the Block, Square, what have you, and then cryptocurrencies. I mean, it kind of takes out the middleman, right? And then the fees, even if some of these third-party processors can charge fees, they're going to knock the prices down, right? To the point where, again, it's the moat around the business goes away for Visa and MasterCard. So when I see news like that today, I'm saying, okay, maybe this is finally the moment the market starts to price in the dominance of Visa, MasterCard ending. So just so you understand my thought process and why I'll probably continue to look for opportunities to play Visa and MasterCard for some downside. Not that I don't think they're great companies, that they're not entrenched, that it's just, I think at some point the market's going to start pricing in, hey, these companies are not going to be the behemoths or the growth is going to slow down or decline. And once that happens, these stocks, I'm not going to say they're going to get pummeled, but there's going to be opportunity. So anyway, that's my rant for right now on Visa, MasterCard. Don't be surprised. I'm probably not going to do it today because it's, you take a look at the Dow at all-time highs, and Visa's one of the components in the Dow is, considering it's $285, the way the Dow is weighted, it makes Visa one of the more impactful components on the Dow. And I don't know if that's some of the reason why Visa has been on a tear the last couple of weeks. I mean, there's been struggles in some of the retailers, but anyway, rants for other days. So just don't be surprised if I add some more speculative puts. I had the puts a couple of weeks ago; those paid off nicely, and then we had the bounce. I'll continue to look for opportunities for downside, and not only that, it's like a double whammy. So if there is competition, and Visa, MasterCard sell off, and the market sells off, it's just going to exacerbate their moves, and the puts will pay very nicely. And not only that, this 270 is 50-day moving average on Visa. 270. What do I have here? And actually, it was in a bear cross. All right, rants for other days. Take a long-term chart back. 2024, it started 250. Let's see, October is 220. All right, so that's Visa. Roku, which just finally broke under 77 after just chopping for the rest for the day. I opened at 79.55, and then right off the bat, it couldn't get over that 80 handle, and then just sold off down to 77, 78, chopped around that area from pretty much the entire day. It was just at 77, 75, a little right before 3 o'clock, and then just boom, down to 76.50. Disappointing. I actually was looking to get some of the calls out at the open. I was surprised the spread was wide. It was like 50 by 85, something like that. And then once it came out, the calls were barely green, so I just held them. I still think it's going to trade over $80 in the next couple of days. So I'll continue to hold my calls into next week on that one. Turn disappointing. I put a support, resistance, and trend line for the stock. It's actually having one of its better trends in recent memory. And then sure enough, after hitting 1040 at about 1230, hit 1040, and then it's just been melting ever since, and it broke under $10. At some point, I'll look to revisit. Well, not revisit, but look to add some more strikes. I was gonna add some more today if it held 10. Frustrating one to watch. Still like it at some point over the weekend or tomorrow or Monday, whatever. There's going to be some M&A news in the GLP-1 space. I've been saying this for quite some time. It's broken record at some time. Well, I'm a broken clock, right? A broken clock is right at least twice a day. I hope I'm right once this year in regards to that. Allied Technologies, similar to Roku, it was trading 259, finally broke 260 in the afternoon, around 2 o'clock, and then boom, it's right down here at 257. Not the most liquid name right now. It's not a lot of volume. Still green, still up 1.6%, still like that into next week, and I still have the October strikes, which are losing some premium. All it's going to take is 2-3% upside day, and the premiums come right back into the calls, and those will be looking good. Redfin. So, I was just talking at the start. There's going to be a lot of chatter this weekend in regards to what lower interest rates are and how they impact the everyday person, right? And the big part of that is going to be mortgage rates and the refinancing and people who haven't been in the market to look at homes because the rates were too much. And if you do the math, and I think it was this morning or yesterday afternoon, you do the quick math on a mortgage, and it's, if you have to get a $500,000 mortgage, every 1% of interest that you can get down is $5,000 a year in to pay the interest, right? So you divide that by 12 months, and was 400 and I don't know, $490, what, $409, whatever that is, uh, in monthly savings on your mortgage. So it almost makes sense if you can find someone to refinance your mortgage or what have you at that. If you got it 7.25 and you get it at 6.25, and then there's no closing costs or whatever, then you could save 400 a month. People are going to start doing that. So uh, I'm just surprised. You take a look at Zillow today, and Zillow's a monster run, a continuation, and Redfin seems to have stalled. So I don't know if it's because Redfin ran up, it's up 100% in the last month and a half. Is that some of the factor behind it not rallying today? I don't know. I hope that's not the case. Maybe just some more churn here before the next leg. You look great yesterday, 15s. Then again today did it hit four? What was the high in Redfin today? Because I don't have this up here. Sorry about that, folks. I thought we came close to 15 today, did we? Oh, 1480. And yesterday was 1530. So that looks like probably strong resistance. Hopefully get some deja vu and the stock can reverse course tomorrow, like it's done after its sell off on Monday. But still like that one for upside. So that's Redfin. ENVX is trading down. I think it's the third session in a row. I have those October strikes. I'll probably just hold those for now. I still think 690 is where it's heading. So you if I'm not gonna do my rant on ENVX, my thoughts. It's hopefully I love any company that's going to change the world for better. And if someone can come out with better batteries that give better life to phones and electronic products, not only is it going to save energy for help uh, the value of that product to give it you know uh, trying to anyway. So not only is it going to help with the product, but then it's going to help the planet. Not as much combustion. Rants for other days. I'm kind of twisting my words here. But I guess the moral of the story is I just don't think that their battery is ever going to come to fruition. I have yet to see any evidence that it's in any product. Despite if you read all their filings, I probably spent too much time reading their filings. They said, oh, they did 100,000 batteries one year, and I'm like, in what? What product is it in? There's no product that has their batteries in it. Uh, and it's the more you read, I mean, you take a look at their patent portfolios. I think it's like 50 patents, and you start taking a look at some of the competitors, and I guess it's CATL is the top battery manufacturer. I think they're in China. They have like 50% of market share, not only in EVs and phones and all that fun stuff, and they have like thousands of patents. Samsung, same thing. Just their battery division, thousands of patents. And I'm not saying that you need to have patents to have a great technology, but if you do have a great technology, you would think you would want to protect that. And it's like, even if they did have all the patents in the world, they don't have enough money to defend someone comes after their technology. Anyway, I can go on rants forever. So that's ENVX. Trying to think of somebody's line. Redfin. Clear Secure, right up to 3340 handle. It's been chopping around again at 2 o'clock. It took a little tumble. It's down here at 3283. Still green on the day. Hopefully that holds and then work its way back up to 34 into next week. And I think that's it, folks. We got 24 minutes to the close. I'll be back on audio tomorrow. Rock and roll.